Welcome to Wrestling is Hard, where every side is the dark side of the ring. Also on Instagram and Twitter at hard4wrestling. Email questions and complaints at wrestlingishard@gmail.com. Like Jim. Brandon, hello. How are you?
What's up, Jim? I'm good.
How's the World Cup treating you? Watching?
Yeah, I sat through 2 back-to-back 0-0 draws today, and I was like, I think I'm good for this for a little while. But it's decent. When I wake up at like 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what to do with myself.
The Holland game was brutal. Jesus. Or no, Denmark. Oh my God. The game so bad. Because the Mexico game was 0-0, but that was exciting. But
it was all right.
it was exciting. It had its moments. The Denmark game was fucking terrible. Like, it's just awful. Sometimes it's just like, what? Now this is why this sport can't get popular in the United States. Yet baseball somehow can. Chris, thoughts? Hello.
Hi.
Jesus, that was really loud.
Ooh.
Hi. Yeah, I haven't watched the World Cup.
Is he way louder than me?
He's way louder than me.
I don't know. I'm not so loud. I'm
blasting over.
I don't know. Yeah, try it again. How's the World Cup, Chris?
World Cup. Hello. Is that better?
Yes, that sounds fine.
All right.
I haven't watched any of it. I tend not to. It usually takes me a few weeks or a week to remember that it's even on. I also watched the E60 on ESPN about how they were treating the Bengali workers when they're building that fucking thing. And it's really fucking terrifying. And then they pulled the plug on alcohol sales. Unless you're a fucking millionaire, you can't drink there.
Did you see any of the pictures of the Saudi Arabia game?
No.
So many dicks, no women.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of dicks slapping together. Like, oh, I love sports. Oh, that's terrible.
I think I don't know what World Cup may have been after Brazil, but no, it was when they were building the what is it, Qatar. Everybody says it different. Catering. When they were building the stadiums, I remember thinking like if you, just because of the way FIFA is and the way it goes in the international sports, if you don't have the infrastructure already, you shouldn't get the fucking World Cup.
Yeah, not unless you got money.
Well, I mean, I get it.
Sports washing.
But like, fucking Jesus Christ, man.
Did you see the commercial? Oh, you're not watching. Brandon, the commercials where they're like, Qatar working hard with everyone, working together. Economy's greatness. It's fucking embarrassing as shit. And Fox is just like, hell yeah, I'll air this. This place is great.
Yeah, this is particularly pathetic, the whole thing. There's like something like over one person has died for every minute of soccer that's being played in like the conservative estimates.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And then not that I'm not implying that this game was fixed this morning, but for a World Cup that started off with a bunch of rumors that Qatar was trying to rig the games for fucking Saudi Arabia with that guy that hacked up Khashoggi in a suitcase sitting next to the leader of FIFA. As Saudi Arabia beats number 3 in the world, it's like, that's interesting. I don't think that it was, but my God.
I don't want anybody to see me.
Get put off of YouTube.
Brought that up.
It's very, it's generally a very disgusting, corrupt thing. But we have it in a couple of years, so I'm going. I don't give a shit. I'm getting tickets. Hopefully we'll get like a Mexico game. It'll be fun. Well, I do think it's wild that the U.S. is like a home team there. There's more Americans there than there is any other foreign person.
So
it's massive with Americans. Yes.
Massive military presence.
I guess.
Yeah.
Got to be able to pay for those tickets too.
Well, I mean, I think you're going to end up. I'm. A lot of the corruption, a lot of the money making comes from the building of these stadiums. You know, I mean, that's how the mafia made their money in New York in the 80s and 90s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So, I mean, I think you see fewer avenues for corruption when you go to a place like, you know, the U.S. or Canada or Mexico or England or anywhere in Europe where these stadiums exist already. You have 70, 80,000 seat stadiums. They're already there. Public transportation's already there. You already have the infrastructure for it. So you're not able to steal as much money because you're not building this shit and skimming off the top.
Right.
But it's there in other ways.
I mean, even here, they want to put a game. They're having a game in Philly, right? It's in
Yes.
Philly. It's not
Yes.
not out in Chester.
No.
That dump.
That fucking.
The stadium is cool.
What?
I've been there. The fucking town sucks. But yeah, they're going to the park. What is that? FDR Park, and they're building some kind of fucking training facility. They didn't ask me. I didn't get a chance to vote on this. Like, what the fuck? They're just doing it.
And
I
they
go to
got
FDR
caught.
at least once a year, and now I got to deal with this.
And they got caught too. Like they were going to build it, and then somebody was like, "Wait a minute, you can't just come in here and pave over all this shit. We need it." Oh, like Philly always does. They're just going to do something, and then all of a sudden,
But you don't understand. It'll encourage youth soccer programs. That is in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Fucking
You think
stupid.
nobody lives near there. Nobody's going there unless they're dry. Get out of here. Fucking bullshit. There you go. Corrupt.
We'll turn it into a mall afterwards.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Old Navy will be here. Shit everywhere. You can't find anything. Five Below. Buy some
Yeah,
Haribo candies.
Oh, hell yeah.
You already said this, Chris, but every once in a while you'll see those images of like the Sochi stadiums that were built for like the Winter Olympics 8 years later, and it's just like it looks like Fallout.
South
It's like
Africa.
that.
Brazil.
China.
Mhm.
How about Yugoslavia? They went to war. Now they all the fucking the whole
Remember
place.
what was it? It was Sarajevo.
Yes, there you go. Was it 82 or 84 or whatever? The fuck it was?
Early 80s, yeah.
Yeah. And now they showed images of that like 10 years later. Everything's the fucking bobsled thing has bullet holes in it.
Oops. Yeah.
It's all about, sports washing.
Mm-hmm. That's
Everything's
exactly
okay
what it's
here.
about.
It's sports.
What's sports washing?
Sports
Is it
washing
just
is
like-
when you use sports as like a smokescreen to cover your, crimes against your people, against other people. China did, Russia
yeah.
did. If you see where these things are happening, tends to be a little sports wash happening. It's strange that the United States is going through what it's going through right now, and the World Cup's coming. Everything's gonna be all right. There's nothing going on. World Cup.
Hey, everybody
that
can
stuff.
get sports washed.
Forget about cop cars burning. That didn't happen. Sports. Speaking of sports, pro wrestling. Got anything else on your mind before we have to dive into AEW?
Let's do it.
I beat Elden Ring tonight. Do you want to guess how many hours it took me?
Okay, I'm going to guess hours.
You could do days.
Let's do hours. Let's do 380 hours. Is that
You oversold it.
I did.
150 hours.
Okay, it would have taken me 380. So
Full 7-day week.
I would have guessed. If given an opportunity.
sorry, Chris. What would you guess?
I am a member of this panel, and
I forgot.
this
Once somebody airmails it 4 times over what I thought was a crazy amount of time, it kind of shits on the thing.
Chris, what's your guess?
about 150.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh, look at that.
It's spot on. Ding, 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 ding.
Productive year for me.
I'm playing Genshin Impact. Do you know what Genshin Impact is?
Yeah.
The free game. I like free games. Free games are good.
PS4?
PS4. I was just like, I guess they just had an update because I've been getting ads for like crazy for it. It was like Genshin Impact. Or how about God of War, which costs this much? I was like, I'll take the free one. Thank you very much.
$70 or something.
Yeah. I'm good. I'll get God of War when it's $25 on Black Friday next year. Okay, Chris.
I went to purchase a game 2 weeks ago on my Xbox, which I never play. And that game was Gotham Knights. It was the sequel to the other ones. And then I realized that you can't purchase it on an Xbox One. You need an Xbox S.
Yeah.
It's not on the Xbox One.
It's not getting great reviews anyway. So
Really?
And I never felt like a bigger piece of shit because I didn't have the newest tech.
it's all right.
So I went and I played Space Hulk on my Xbox that I bought for $7.99
Yeah, right.
and had more fun.
Yeah, all right.
I feel like that's pretty fucked up to pretty fucked up to start cutting off the old consoles when they still can't even produce the new ones where you can walk into a store and get it.
It's ridiculous. I get an email every once in a while because I joined the list to buy the PS5. And every 6 to 8 months. Oh, by the way, you can buy a PS5 now if you want. I'm like, I'll just wait till mine starts smoking.
So You know, I did the research. They gave a reason. The reason was credible. The game is so big that the other Xbox just can't handle it, which is fine. Right. But you're right. I mean, I actually so when you go to buy it and it isn't for your version of the system, it will immediately push you right to where you can buy a new one. And I clicked on them just to see, not available.
It's ridiculous.
So it's like,
I guess it has to do with because this happened before the PS5 or whatever came out before the pandemic, correct?
Yeah.
So this isn't like a processor issue.
I mean,
it's
it might be at this point.
No, it came out in 2020, November.
Okay.
So it might be.
So 2 full years. It's just strange that you just can't buy that shit if you want it.
Yeah.
I couldn't buy heavy cream at the store today, so you know.
Hey man, the IGA's got turkeys pouring out the front door. I got myself my turkey breast, like WKRP in Cincinnati. The turkey episode. Look it up. Oh, check us out. I got my Azumi sweatshirt. Look at that.
Nice.
Azumi sushi.
Is she sushi?
Yeah, she does. That's the move she does. The Azumi sushi.
What am I sushi? Yeah, it's pretty dope.
And it's got purple strings. Huge fan.
You like this one? Ask me about the time Charles Manson was a secret operative for the CIA.
Hell yeah, that's great. Speaking of which, CIA killed
Chaos book.
JFK. Don't forget that.
Yeah. I'm setting off all the flags here on this podcast.
Listen,
the YouTube flags.
Let me tell you something.
COVID was a hoax.
COVID was a hoax. I will tell you this. That was one of the I listened to that book, Chaos. First of all, if you listen to that book, that's not a conspiracy.
Who does the voice?
I don't know.
Anyone famous? No. Okay.
No.
Did you?
I listened to it on Audible. If you like like people say, that ain't no fucking conspiracy. I mean, it's not crazy at all when you listen to it and all the shit is lined up. And this dude had been researching it for like 30 years. It's fucking wild how it all comes together.
It really is.
It really, like, you know, I don't buy into any of that shit. Cause like, you know, people start getting into conspiracy theories and then they just start thinking everything is conspiracy.
It's all tied together somehow.
Yeah. Everything's all tied together and you got lizard. Yeah. People, you know, going into their basement at night, turning into lizards.
Yes.
But this was that's a really cool listen. That's a really good book. And then then what you should do is listen to that. What I did is I listened to it and then I caught Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on TV.
Great film.
After the fact. I had already seen it and loved it. But after the fact, I caught it on TV and you know who all the people are. Mm-hmm. When he goes to the ranch, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's this guy." All right, they're all real people.
Yeah, they're real people, based on real people, I guess.
Yeah, but like you don't realize like you know everything about them after you listen to that book or read that book. It's pretty fucking wild. It's called.
Oh, that's
Chaos.
right. They use all the names. There's a text. Mm-hmm. There's a they're all the same names.
Yeah, the book's called Chaos. I don't know who. Do you remember who wrote it?
Tom O'Neill. Yeah.
Tom O'Neill.
It's just like a perfect example of, and we don't have to get into it, but.
Let's do it.
That it was a story. It was a story that I mean, we got 3 different pay-per-views to talk about, but it was a story that was put out by the prosecuting attorney in 1970, the Helter Skelter book, which I had read when I was in high school. And America in 1970, whatever year that came out, I think was just willing to accept something like that. Yeah, sure, the prosecuting attorney, has the entire truth of the matter, and then this guy just started chipping away at the surface and immediately realized that this is all bullshit, that this what the Charles Manson story is. And of course it's like this because the guy was trying to get a conviction, and you look into the guy that wrote the book, the prosecutor is a total maniac, and then it just chips away from there, and they pretty much have a through line from that point all the way to the Central Intelligence Agency.
Oh, yeah. Pretty fucking wild, man.
Well, you know, the whole thing, the whole reasoning behind they're saying that CIA killed JFK is because JFK, after the Bay of Pigs, was like, "Oh, we got to break the CIA up. They fucked this all up, and now I look like an asshole." Let's work. They've been working this. This is disgusting. We didn't know anything about it. Let's break it up. R.I.P. R.I.P. Texas.
That was there's another what was the name of that movie? The Good Shepherd with Matt Damon. That's if you're ever in the mood to watch a movie about the CIA that's like 12 hours long. It's fucking that's another one. I love that movie.
The Good Shepherd? I never even heard of
that. It begins with the Bay of Pigs and then it goes all the way back to before World War II and works its way back up. It's pretty wild.
Spooky. I'm just kidding. I didn't mean any of that, guys.
Yeah. We're just kidding. Don't get us black from YouTube.
Don't hit me with the heart attack gun.
Oh, by the way. Oh, yeah. What is it? Havana syndrome. Oh, my brain. God. Go talk about that too. We went. I've banned myself from watching. I'm now in the late seasons of The Sopranos. I'm not allowed to watch it because I start yelling at the TV, and I've become very annoying. That fucking piece of shit! Look at this piece of shit! Fuck him! She reminds me of my mother. It's a lot of that. So it's getting into this point where, and Tina's like, calm down. I'm like, you don't understand. You don't understand. There's like people, they this is what's wrong with Italian Americans in this country. These are idolized people. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Now I put a hold on it.
Who with half a fucking brain cell that's Italian and Italian American idolizes these fucking people? With half a brain cell, Jim.
Okay, yeah, there's the
there's a caveat there.
Just walk down 11th and Mifflin.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. A bunch of goobas out there. No, not allowed to watch it. I did start watching 1899 though, Brandon.
Which one is
Science
that?
fiction show. Did you watch Dark?
Is it a Yellowstone prequel?
Yeah. Did you watch Dark?
I was gonna say.
I watched like the first 2.5 seasons of it.
Okay, but it's basically dark on a boat.
Good.
It's dark on a boat. That's what it is. Dark on a boat. It's okay. It's pretty good. But you can see that it's like trans-dimensional time travel. It's the same fucking storyline, but it's on a boat in 1899. It's okay.
It's kind of like Lost, right? That's
sort of, yeah. Yeah, Lost. They were figuring out as they went along. Dark was one of those shows. By the end of it, it all made sense by the end. But man, it was fucking tough at one point when they started explaining who everybody was, and you're like, Jesus fucking wait, he's who?
He's like his own dad or something.
He's his own dad. Fuck the
That was one of those ones I was really into it, and then for whatever reason I didn't watch it for like 2 weeks, and then you're fucked because it's so complicated. You can't just like pick it back up. You're like,
plus it's in German.
Yeah.
And the recap, like it's not like you have to pay attention because it's in German and you got to read the subtitles. Otherwise you're lost. Because I apparently people watched it with the voiceover and they dropped it right away, and apparently it was terrible. And I saw that now this show, 1899, made by the same people, there are multiple English as a second language characters. There's German characters, Danish characters, Chinese. Like they're speaking all kinds of languages throughout it, which is kind of a cool thing. No one's like, there's a couple English characters, but everybody else speaks. There's French characters, so you're constantly subtitled. So you're forced to pay attention. So I can only do like one or two episodes a night, and I got to walk away. And I'm afraid that with like what happened with Dark, where you had to pay attention. If I walk away for too long, I'm gonna come back and be like, wait, what the fuck? Oh, that's right. That's right. That's the brother. That's the brother father. I forgot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Chris, thoughts?
I remember I just looked up Dark. My wife watched it.
Yep.
And she watched it with dubbed. And I remember being like, what the fuck? We're going to talk like we think Americans speak so you understand it. Yes.
Well, it's voice actors stink. And if you have voice actors are voice actors because they have good voices, but they have bad faces and can't act. That's why they don't become real actors.
Right.
That's my theory on voice acting.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
There's only one good voice actor.
Who's that?
And he played the part. Oh no, he died.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But he was an actor before he was a voice actor.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these people are.
This guy, I can't think of his name, but he played the role
Mike Judge.
Alien Yapol in Ultraman Ace, where Ultraman fights the
you're talking
super
about
monster Barabbas.
Yeah, you're talking about So when we were okay, so that just takes explanation. You can't just say this.
No, you explain.
So I bought a back when we were kids, we were big Ultraman fans, but we couldn't find it anywhere. It wasn't in syndication. It was back when there was 10 channels and that's all you can watch. It was gone for like 20 years. And I went down to South Street and there used to be a place that sold bootlegs of anime, bootlegs of tokusatsu, all the Japanese stuff they have bootlegs of. So I bought I didn't know what I was looking for. So I grabbed Ultraman Ace, like tape number 25 or some shit. I forget what it was. I might still have it somewhere. And you put it in, and it's dubbed. So I find out years later it's dubbed by Malaysians speaking English. So it is just completely off the fucking wall. It's just insane. But it became like part of our teenage years where you would put it on and just laugh your fucking ass off at this
we watched that
terrible
for years.
dub.
For years we watched that.
There's only one. I'm not going to imitate the accent. There's only one thing that humans fear the most. That's radioactive rain. Did you know that, Brandon?
I did not know that. But again, I didn't
radioactive rain.
Well, and then it turns out that we learn, years and years later that episode that you just so happened to buy is like iconic.
It's iconic because they're crucified. It was totally random. The Ultramans were crucified. It was insane.
Wild stuff. It was fucking.
There you go.
It was fucking.
Those were sacred texts that you came across.
It was like an episode of Dark. Really. I found this through space-time continuum. We went back in the past and found the future. There you go. I just spoiled Dark for everyone. All right, let's talk about AEW. This is a lot more fun than talking about AEW. Hey guys, did you watch the AEW Full Gear pay-per-view? Brandon, did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched.
Chris, did you watch it?
Well, I said last week on the podcast that I had tickets to see Dave Wakefield of the English Beat, and I said to myself, "That was fucking fantastic."
Right.
We'll dig into that for a second.
Yeah, go ahead
if you want.
Who cares? It's our show.
Yeah. So we went to it was at City Winery, which is in downtown Philadelphia. I had never been there before.
No, it's brand new. It's right at the Fashion District. The old Market East station.
Yeah, the venue's in the basement, which was neat. It's very small, like intimate, not very small. It's like a dinner theater, which was cool. I saw that. I was like, this is amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. We get there. They take you give them your name. They walk you to your seat. You purchase seats at a table, and the majority of them are four tops. So we're there. I knew ahead of time we were going to be there with another couple that, obviously we didn't know, not obviously, but we weren't going to know who they were. So they take us to the table. The table needs to be about a foot bigger. Right. And we sat down and the couple, they were like in their mid 60s, the couple that we sat with. They were really nice. We talked to them. We had a really good time with them and it was fun. No problems there. But he said, when I sat down, the husband said, they said another couple was sitting here. We're like, how? Because you get there about an hour early, you can order dinner, have dinner. Well, those people had already eaten. They said, as soon as we're done our food, we'll shift over and then you can have a majority of the table. So everything worked out fine. But it was just very strange. It's just not strange at all, but just, it was like an airline. Like, we're going to take away every fucking inch just so he can squeeze one more table in. And had I known if I ever go there again, because they had two tops on the wall, the wall is fucking right in front of the stage.
Mm.
I'm thinking I don't want to be off in a corner. Now, fuck that. Next time I go, I want to be off in a corner. But fantastic show. Dave Wakefield was in the English Beat, and he was in General Public, and he did songs from both. And we had a really good time. And it started at 8:00 at night and ended it by 9:30. We were home by 9:45.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. No opening act.
Yeah, this week. What is that?
Yeah, that's there's a wild animal just came in through my basement door.
Oh, okay.
Dave Wakefield's tied up in
Dave Wakefield's tied up in the basement. But no, it was a lot of fun. The best part about it was, one of the funniest parts was he's doing a song And the guys, people record, but when you're 5 feet from the fucking guy performing, you might not want to record him in a room like that. And he looks at him and he goes, no, put it away. So you're not recording me my entire show and putting it online. Put that away now.
Right.
And they can, and I got a couple little tiny snippets because I needed those, that fake dopamine rush from my Instagram likes.
Mm-hmm.
So I got like a couple tiny snippets, but man, I was ducking because people were on their phones. He's just like, get off your phone. What are you doing? Like, enjoy this. So, but it was good. It was a really good show. We were really happy. And like I said, we got home, and when I got home and still a little wound up. So we, when I got home, I was watching TV for a little bit, and then I went upstairs and I laid down in bed and I looked at my phone, and it was probably around midnight. The main event, the results for the main event weren't posted yet.
Right.
And I said, I made the right fucking decision.
Right. You would have been doing it all night.
It was fucking, yeah. So I already gave you my review of the pay-per-view, but let's talk about it.
Yeah. I think the first show that was at that venue, not to harp on this before we talk about wrestling, but I think it was Sinead O'Connor, which I was shocked when it happened. I was like, holy shit, Sinead O'Connor performing in that little place? How big is it downstairs? Same size as upstairs?
Upstairs, I know that there's two venues in there, I believe.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
I don't know.
Curious.
I really couldn't tell you. It was like couple hundred
People.
Small. It's small. Yeah. It's not tight because
couple
it's
hundred's big.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe 100 people.
100. Maybe more, maybe a little bit more. It's hard. Look, I can't tell you how far away my door is because I have no
depth perception,
spatial awareness when it comes to how many feet something is away from me. So it's hard for me to tell.
I can't convert feet to meters. So
there's a trick for that. There's a formula, and you'll remember it. What you do is you take your phone and you type in conversion of feet to meters, and the whole fucking thing comes up.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Butch from Maniunk is? The WIP guy?
No.
He's like
no idea.
No.
Do yourself a favor and Google him.
No.
Okay.
Both of us.
Does he sing the Eagles fan?
He's like this ancient white trash mutant.
The guy that calls in all the time?
I had a similar thing where we went to this, it was like dinner and a show, and Sydney and I got pinched right next to him and his wife.
Oh, fuck off.
This tiny table, and he was wearing a like backwards and to the side Phillies hat and a sleeveless baseball jersey at this like nice restaurant, and him and his wife just sat there and proceeded to like munch ice cubes through a concert while everybody else was eating dinner.
Oh, I did see.
And focus on the show because I was just watching this piece of shit the entire time.
I think it was when the Eagles were in the Super Bowl. This asshole was on a plane with some guy. It would not stop singing the Eagles fight song the entire fucking flight.
Yeah,
like, people were like, "Yeah, this is great." At first,
in somebody's face.
After an hour, they were just like, "Will this guy shut the fuck up?"
He's one of the big. Remember the Fandemic crew? Those people that would go stand outside the gate during at the Phillies game during the pandemic.
No, what is that?
He's like one of those guys.
I know what you're talking about.
What does it mean? What's a Fandemic thing? I don't know what that means.
When you couldn't go inside the stadium, but the MLB proceeded with their season, there was like a group of people that would just stand at the center field gate and just yell and listen to the game on the radio, like just real goober shit. He was one of those guys. But anyway, yeah, I had that same thing where I had to share a dinner table with him and his wife and watch him just eat ice cubes for dinner.
That's fucking bizarre. I'm eating something. You can't throw me out.
Wearing like fingerless gloves.
Do yourself a favor and look up Butch from Maniunk and check the images. There you go. You'll know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Guy.
You don't even have to hear the guy talk, and you know what he sounds like. I can imagine. And they really love this guy though. They got him like, or he's on the radio and shit. Is he really that entertaining?
No, he's just a complete piece of garbage. Like I said, he'll go to every once in a while he'll pop up when the Eagles have a playoff game and say like, I don't know, the quarterbacks at Chickies and Pete's signing autographs. He'll be there like singing the fight song in his face from 2 feet away with his rotten teeth. Just a real embarrassment of a guy. But anyway,
Philly.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, AEW Full Gear 2022.
There we go.
Here we go. Now,
I'm
talking about entertaining. Let's start it off since we all watched the show. Steel cage match. Jack Perry defeats Luchasaurus. It gets 8.38 on cage match. Thoughts, Chris? Let me just go through this card, and I'll tell you the results. And at the end, you tell me whether this encourages you to watch this Wednesday or if not. Okay, let's go through it. AEW World Trios title, best of 7 series match number 1. Death Triangle defeats the Elite. This got 9.1 out of 10 based on. Go ahead, Brandon. You got a thought?
Did you say best of 7 series? I don't think I've ever seen this before.
Best of 7 series. I remember a few years ago there was a best of 7 series between Cesaro and Sheamus. It actually worked out you were like, why would they do this? What, do they have nothing to do? And then at the end of it, they became tag partners. And it actually worked out. There's no chance of that happening unless they're doing 12-person tag matches.
Yeah,
so
what's a group of 6? Is it a sextet?
Yep, that's what it is.
Sextet, 6 people. Yeah.
Sextet tag.
Yeah, sextet tags.
Well, I don't want to forget before by the time we get to the end, I'll probably forget. But if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the fact that this was a best of 7 series announced after the fact?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
They had the match. Yay. A fuck CM Punk chant started out in the crowd. And just like any head of a company, what do they call themselves? Omega and the Jacksons, what do they call themselves?
EVP, Executive Vice President.
Like any executive vice president, respectable executive vice president would do. The Jackson brothers encouraged the fuck CM Punk chant from the fans. More likable, less likable. Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, we're doing this again.
Yes, we are.
They came out looking exactly the same way they always do. We had this conversation before. I'll bring it up again. There's only one wrestler that's able to do that. And it's probably the person that's made the most money off of wrestling out of anybody in the fucking history of wrestling, and that's John Cena. Nobody else can do that.
And even he had character changes.
Yeah, a little bit. He tweaked them.
Thugonomics.
Mm-hmm. But there was really
for a while.
Yeah, he was the doctor of Thugonomics in the beginning. But once he hit that John Never Give Up John Cena mode and he started selling all that merch, that was it.
So he was support the troops dude for a while there too, which was just a tweak on Never Give Up, Never Surrender.
That's it. That's all he is. And he does it. Say what you will about John Cena. I personally think he's fucking fantastic.
He is.
Say what you, but people will be fucking
He's a great professional wrestler.
He's a fucking great for anybody that does 5 moves and just over as fuck all the time. Doesn't matter. He tells a great story. But that being said, he can do that. You can't. So they came out in the same fucking gear that I believe that dickhead was floating around with the tiger stripe, fucking gimmick people with tiger stripes and sprays.
Brandon Cutler was there,
a mask and all this other shit. We're not getting away from this.
Same shit, different day. Welcome back to the same. They had their chance. They were away. Come back, reinvent yourselves. We'll go back to Kenny Omega later. Brandon, thoughts?
This isn't a surprise to me at all, because if they had any idea, you would have seen it. They've had all the time in the world to come up with something. It's obvious that they haven't. So, of course, this is what it's going to be. I don't even want to say I'm disappointed, because I never thought it would be anything but this, but I truly don't care about it.
Yeah. That's been your stance the whole time, and you're sticking to it, and you've been right. So I would say ride the ship to the bottom of the ocean, I guess, or jump off. AEW TBS title match. Jade Cargill defeated Nyla Rose. This gets a 3.72 on Cage Match.
Hold on. How the fuck are you getting 0.72?
Well, it's a let's see how many people. This is based on 298 votes average? Out of 10. That's the average.
Okay, all right. I was going to say, what in your head is going, it could be 3.5. It could be 3 3/4.
Could you imagine?
But like
closer to point.
Yeah.
You didn't do this correctly, and I would have done this way. So it's not. And then just like incrementally thinking of reasons why it would go up a fraction of a point, back down a fraction of a point.
Yeah, it was an 8-minute match. Like, okay, sure, it was fine. How about this one?
Hold on, I do have to say that Jade Cargill.
Yeah, she did have the
Dressed as
Chitara
Chitara.
gear. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. It's kind of funny because I watched it all go down on Twitter, where she asked the fans like, who should I do? What should I look like? What should be my costume be? And somebody was like, you would look pretty cool, and they showed her an image of Chitara. She had no idea who that was.
Yeah, it's an age thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you know? She's like, she's amazing. Well, who is that? And then someone explained it to her. What do you know? She came out dressed like Chitara. She looks like a fucking million. She always looks like $1 million. How could you give this? Just her showing up is 5 stars out of 10.
But the Young Bucks got
you fucking
in the same fucking clothes with no creativity, doing the same fucking moves and having the same fucking match that they've had since Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
8-minute match between two hosses. I doubt it was fucking less than 5. Give me a fucking break. Brandon, final thoughts? Any thoughts on this?
I think that it actually would be pretty funny to do like an ultra convoluted score system with like Teletubbies level content here. There's like all these subtle tweaks and adjustments to it.
I love it.
Amazing. ROH World Title 4-way match. Chris Jericho defeated Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Sammy Guevara. This was 22 minutes almost. 8.46.
4-6.
Yeah. Next. Singles match. Saraya gets the win against Dr. Britt Baker. We got under 5. So this was better than the Jade Cargill match, even though Jade Cargill looks like she does. I don't trust this rating system.
This is
8. Go ahead.
This got a what? An under 5, you said?
It got under 5. Just about 5. It's 4.9.
Okay.
4.9. Someone was like, it's not quite 5. It's 4.9.
Like, how do you come up with this shit?
Mom, give me a couple pizza rolls. I'm
Tostinos.
trying to figure out my match rating for Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker, Mom. Unbelievable. AEW TNT title match, 3-way match. Samoa Joe defeats Wardlow and Power Hobbs. He is now the Ring of Honor champ and the TNT champ. He's double champ, Samoa Joe. Chris, thoughts?
Someone.
I like me some Samoa Joe. And if this was in the meat of a pay-per-view that I had any interest in watching or had any reason, I would be like, that's a match I wouldn't mind watching. It'd be fun.
Slapping together.
Yeah, bunch of big dudes fucking murdering each other, but it's in the middle of this fuck fest. So,
wish it was a fuck fest. Wish they were all fucking.
3-way fuck fest.
3-way fuck fest.
3-way fuck fest. That was a fuck.
I did see a clip where
I may have owned a videotape called that at one
3-way
point.
fuck fest.
3-way fuck fest.
Number something.
Number 28.
Yeah, like number 9.
That was number.
Number 9.
That was number 3.72.
3.72.
That was its rating. It's fucking. If you want to know, this was rated 6.30. Just in case you want to get into the hundredths. I did see a clip where Wardlow did like a jump off the top rope and landed on both dudes. He went flying through the fucking air. It was pretty rad.
I mean, this is like what we should be looking for in AEW, right? You have the vet wrestling with 2 dudes that don't have a lot of experience, right? Everybody he's working to try to get these guys look good. They have an athletic match. You get to know the other 2 dudes. They become your favorite fucking guys, the guys you want to see again. You know, who cares? Samoa Joe wins. Who gives a shit about titles? You know, but it gives the opportunity to 2 guys who really, I mean, in the grand scheme of pro wrestling, they're very young.
Yeah, Wardlow and Powerhouse.
Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs. They're exciting. They're athletic. They seem to be fucking into it. They seem to want to get better at it. And
fans like them.
And fans like them. And this is what you get in the middle of a card. Perfect place for it. But yet we're excited for, because this is the AEW crowd. The only thing we're excited for is the match we've seen a million fucking times.
Fuck CM Punk champs.
And
Fuck CM Punk's chance.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Cool stuff.
Every single one of them.
Sure.
CM Punk's coming back. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you.
No DQ tag team match. 6.46 based on 307 votes. Cage match. Darby Allin and Sting defeat Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I don't see any highlights or lowlights or anything. I didn't see anything come out of this match, so no one got El Kabong, I'm assuming. Brandon, disappointed?
I am disappointed in that. Yeah, this was something that we were actually genuinely excited about. Jeff Jarrett.
Maybe I should actually check like a review of this show to see if there's any details. But go ahead, continue.
No, I think that's all I got. I like this blacked out Jeepers Creepers looking Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, same here. Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. Let's see what happened. Oh, yeah, that happened. This happened. That happened.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. This is good stuff. Good radio. Oh, A. They gave that an A. All right, let's see. Oh, A+++. I guarantee it. Oh, they only gave Death Triangle versus the Elite a B+. Fuck yes.
Whoa.
I would say this is more accurate than the other shit. All right, so let's see. I'm scrolling. Don't mind me.
Also, let us be clear. We say this all the time, but I think we should say it today too, because it looks like we're going in a certain direction. We want to like this.
Yes, of course. We've discussed this before.
I'll say it over and over again.
This is the only U.S. product that I want to like.
Exactly.
I want to like them all. This is the only product that I pay attention to. This is the product that I want to succeed. No El Kabong. Sorry.
It kind of felt good to just skip this.
Oh, yeah. I know where it stands in my hierarchy of what I need to watch in my life. You know what I mean? Spend time with my wife is tops. When I got free time, I don't watch sports, so I watch women's wrestling.
And you watch
because
Dark.
It's good. And New Japan and Dark.
Dark on a Boat.
I do watch Dark and Dark on a Boat. AEW interim women's world title. Jamie Hayter defeats Toni Storm. 8.4 based on 358 votes. 15-minute match. Hell yeah, Jamie Hayter, who has done probably 3 promos since she's been here, is now your AEW women's champ. Brandon, thoughts?
Interim women's champ. Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. Why not?
Chris?
I'm digging it. It just seems like, man, don't you think you could have done a little bit more build story-wise to get here? You know, like it was like it's
the only story they've had with the women besides Nyla Rose and Jay Cargill.
Yeah, but like she's like the secondary part of a story involving the dentist. Always.
This is another example of, and I'm not sticking up for. I really like Jamie Hayter. I love fucking Toni Storm. I think that the championship, the women's championship, has been much more important since she's had it. But I think this is like giving the fans what they want because they've been fucking screaming her name for fucking months. Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty much what we got here.
Never give them what they want. They keep coming back for more when
that's
you
right.
don't.
This is a real quote.
I go in front of their face like a carrot.
Yep.
I googled Jamie Hayter.
Yeah.
The headline says, Britt Baker, I literally handpicked Jamie Hayter for AEW. Now tell me, this quote immediately rubs me the wrong way. Help me, tell me if it does the same and help me figure out why. I'm so incredibly proud of Jamie. I mean, I literally handpicked Jamie. I went to Tony Khan and said, hey, we need this girl because I wrestled her in the UK in a dive bar years ago and we've been friends ever since.
Okay.
That makes my skin crawl. Is it that she has to pat herself on the back? Is it that she has to say that she's been wrestling in fucking dive bars overseas?
I remember when she wrestled in Stardom. That's how long I've been watching Stardom. It was not good. Yeah, we're gonna discuss this at the end of the show. Okay, keep Britt Baker's name in your heads. If I don't,
she's
mention
a
her.
douche.
Yeah, she is. Next up, the Acclaimed versus Swerve in Our Glory. The Acclaimed win. I believe Swerve turned on him finally, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Didn't
he
see
lost
that
his
coming.
patience. Slapped him and walked out.
Don't you ever touch my belt.
That's what happened.
Yep.
Are we getting full heel Swerve Strickland?
I'll be honest with you.
They don't have any full heels. They don't have. Oh yeah, I guess they have Christian.
That's
They don't
it.
have any wrestling heels anymore. Because MJF ain't a heel.
No.
Right.
Who are the heels in AEW? Samoa Joe?
I guess he is.
He's the
People still
closest thing
cheer
you're
him.
going to get. I mean, he's working heel.
Yeah.
And
They
he's
cheer
not
the bad guys.
he's not reacting to, like, MJF would be working heel,
Gun Club.
but reacting to the crowd like a babyface would.
Mhm.
Whereas Samoa Joe, you can cheer him. He's going to tell you, go fuck yourself.
Should tell you to shut the fuck up, which is the way a heel should be.
Right.
Yeah. We need a heel. We're going to talk about it. AEW, you have any thoughts on this, Brandon?
You don't think Platinum Max is the heel that we need?
Oh, hell no. He ain't no fucking heel anymore.
He's on some reason I got their theme song stuck in my head, and it's on Spotify. So if you ever want to bump this, you can.
Running in the game and we in our own lane. Everybody saying that they want to be acclaimed.
Hell yeah. That's killer.
10,000 plays.
I'm gonna put it on the playlist of the bar. You know what song I just put on the playlist of the bar is The Troll?
What's that?
The Scat Man.
Scatman?
Yep.
Wasn't that on wasn't that on a bumper sticker for sale online I just saw the other day?
Oh yeah, there was. Yeah.
I'm listening to the Scat Man.
We were going through not to get off subject because this is so exciting to talk about wrestling. We were going through the Christmas playlist at work, getting it ready for the holidays. And I have a pretty wild one. But me and the guy that works there were discussing. We were like, Jimmy Buffett's got to have a Christmas song. He's got to have a shitty Christmas song. He's got a whole shitty Christmas album. But one of the songs was just like, oh my God, it's going to piss so many people off. I'm putting it on there. It's like when I worked on South Street and I used to have the barking dogs singing Jingle Bells. It used to drive my boss nuts, and I would be in tears as soon as it came on. And mine was a remix that had a breakdown that had cats meowing.
Nice.
Yeah. In the middle of it. It was amazing.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have you ever seen someone
fucking
scat in real life?
Ever listen to scat in real life?
Yeah, have you ever
Besides-
walked into a
besides the
scat
Scatman?
show?
No, I've never been to a scat show. Is this something you've done?
No. I was just wondering. I feel like at some point in the 90s, there could have been like a scat going on live places. And
It was just the Scatman.
I was at a scat show one
John.
time. It was scat show one time. I was sitting next to, what's his name? Butch from Manayunk.
But
He
man,
was like-
he's shit
He
all
was
over
like,
the place.
he was like, what's his name?
Butch from Maniac?
Man, I guess. I forgot it already. I guess it was floating around in my subconscious. And he was like, every time I hear scat, I think of fucking Jim Carrey. What the fuck? Owen Wilson's face on the hairdryer, Cable Guy.
That's right, yeah.
That's right.
Suck the hair. Suck it.
Did you ever see that video of Kim Cattrall from Sex and the City doing scat?
No, is it amazing?
Dude, you have to watch it. It's so fucking funny.
She's a funny one.
She's got like some, it's like her boyfriend or something is playing upright bass, and she's just like scat, ba ba da, ow. And then she like in between, she's just like him and I, like I think he just picks up what I put down, like is saying like that level of cheesy like 90s, like jazz head phrases. It's so fucking funny.
I'm into it. You know what else I'm into? AEW World Championship match. Jon Moxley loses to MJF. William Regal betrayed Jon Moxley. He handed MJF the ring, or the knuckles. What did he use? The knuckles to knock out a booed Jon Moxley. He was booed in this match. MJF's finally the champ. Brandon, thoughts?
I think the Regal thing makes it interesting.
It does. Yeah.
That's
Nice
all
little
that makes it interesting.
move here.
But I must ask you. Okay, Chris, thoughts?
No, I mean, that's all that makes it interesting because we kind of knew that this was going to happen, right?
Right.
You know, when you let everybody in on every fucking thing that's going on backstage in your company, you kind of fucking can figure out what's going on TV, right?
There's no secrets. Okay, so I'll ask you. I hinted at this. So we have MJF. He's a babyface. People are cheering him. He can act like a dick all he wants. People are cheering him. He's doing promos after Rampage and fucking Dynamite, getting the crowd all hyped up about how great AEW is, and I want to work here, and this place is the best. I love it. What is with AEW with no heels? What is the problem we have in this company? We have zero real heels. We really have no real heels. And any of the heels that we have, Britt Baker in particular, is constantly in a state where she can never be the butt end of everything, which is what a heel has to do. A heel has to look like shit to make everybody else look good. Britt Baker has not figured this out. She always has to put herself on top of everything. She's the biggest star in the company, women-wise, for sure. She goes into this thing with Saraya. We talked about this last week. They do this promo battle. It ain't great. Why is she putting herself over as being the babyface in this thing when she's the bad guy? And it forces Saraya to go and start doing this real deal fucking thing in the ring. Now that you look at it in hindsight, you're like, there's no fucking bad guys. It's just a bunch of dicks. There's no real bad guy. Is this what's it's kind of chasing me away? I have no one to root against and no one to root for because they all are the same fucking character to varying degrees. Brandon, thoughts?
I think you nailed it. I think that's exactly what it is. I hadn't really crossed my mind in those specific terms until you said that. Chris, what do you think? I don't know if I have anything to add.
No, he's breathing really heavy there.
It just popped into my head. So tell me if I'm completely off base. From watching wrestling my entire life and from listening to interviews with wrestlers over the years, it seems that it is much easier to be a heel than it is to be a babyface. Now, in the WWF, WWE, in that realm, the way that guys would always talk about it was that it's easier to be a heel, get over as a heel, but it's better to be a babyface because that's who sells merch. So it's like this push and pull. You want to be a babyface because you're going to make more money, but you want to be a heel because it's more fun, easier to do, because you're not trying to get over. You want people to fucking hate you. Could it be because we exist? It's because it's a company full of, and we've talked about this before, indie wrestlers, essentially, most of them, that have never been in long-term exposed storylines to where a lot of eyes were seeing them. I mean, I think fucking MJF was a GCW guy or MLW guy. Some of them worked. I mean, even Impact, you had Bruce Pritchard was there for a while. I mean, you had experienced people behind the scenes, even though the execution wasn't that great. So they don't have any idea how to get over as a babyface. You're playing to an audience who may be a little bit jaded and doesn't want to root for a winner. They want to root for a loser. Or they represent the way that they see the world, as in through lack of a better way to put it, like a negative lens, right? Cynical lens.
Sounds like us.
All these things combined. What's that?
Sounds like us.
Yeah. All these things combined cause this situation where you don't have anybody that's a baby face because you don't have anybody that knows how to fucking do it correctly. The only people that I would say, I'm going to pull one. I'll pull, because even
countering
Brian
what I'm saying. What I said was there's no real heels. So
well,
if
there's no real
heels,
heels because there's no baby faces.
If there's no real baby faces, we just have a bunch of varying degrees of dickishness.
There's only, I'm going to name one person that's a baby.
Would you say folks?
Yeah.
I'm going to name one baby face and correct me if I'm wrong.
There's one baby face. I know who the baby face is.
Well, I'm going to say Cesaro. And
I think it's the
Claudio
plumber. The plumber's the
Castiglione.
babyface.
Who?
The plumber, the pipe fitter, Eddie Kingston,
Kingston.
Oh, Eddie Kingston.
because
But
he's a
is
loser. Yeah, he's the underdog.
He's the underdog, so he's definitely a baby face. Yeah, and I'm going to say but he doesn't really behave in that manner, right?
Well, he's not like like a white meat babyface. They don't have a white meat babyface at all.
Right. What I'm saying is that he's a baby face, and I think Claudio comes out as a baby face. He kind of comes to save the day a lot when he shows up. Remember when I was talking about John Cena? Mm-hmm. John Cena goes away from wrestling. I remember years ago I said this. John Cena goes away for 6-8 months, and then he would come back on Raw or whatever, or in a pay-per-view, and you would say to yourself, there was this feeling of, hey, everything's going to be okay. John Cena's here now.
Right.
They don't have anybody that does that. And I think you can only get your heels can only be as bad as good as your baby faces are. Because if you have a couple of white meat baby faces, guys that are good guys, now all of a sudden it amplifies, even though you're in this weird middle area of whether or not they're good or bad, it amplifies. If you have somebody to play against, it amplifies that. So even though you're floating in the middle, it slides the scale. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They have a really good guy. Now, all of a sudden, this guy that was in the middle, he starts looking like he's kind of bad because you're comparing him against this other guy. But, I mean...
It's like the Estates General, brother. You're talking about the French Revolution. I understand everything you're throwing down, brother.
It almost looks like, obviously, we're not backstage. We don't know what the fuck's going on here. There's a reason why you had guys who were baby faces and guys who were heels in WWF. Because you had a fucking boss that said, this is the way we're doing things, and that's it. You work here. We do things this way. Give me some ideas. That's great. But understand they got to work into this framework that we've already put up. And I think it's just like a heel. Britt Baker shouldn't, as a heel, you should give her nothing to say to get people on her side. The DMD thing should be gone.
Yeah, that's Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura immediately when he turned heel. Good example of it. I mean, we don't see Shinsuke anymore, but this is a really good example of it. When he turned heel, the first thing he did was change his music so he couldn't sing along anymore. Yep. It was fucking brilliant. He changed it. He was like, they can't sing alongs, and I guarantee that was his idea. No, we can't have this because they're going to cheer for me. They're all going to sing along. I'm not a bad guy if they're singing along. I'm taking away what they like about me, and now they hate me.
Right. So you shouldn't have that. You shouldn't have, I'm MJF, I'm better than you. Well, he's not a heel anymore, but I'm better than you, and you know it.
Lose
right?
Save it.
You shouldn't have that stuff because that gives people things to chant. You should have the baby faces say things negative about you to give the people something to chant. So you can, and I mean, look, they have one of the greatest, they have one in their company. They have one of the greatest performers ever when it comes to looking like an asshole and showing your ass. And that's fucking Regal. I can't think of anybody, very few people during my time of watching.
Or a guy, an active guy, Chris Jericho.
Jericho as well. Well, Jericho's, that's the other thing. I was going to say Jericho's a good heel, but he's got the song.
Oh yeah, he won't ditch that fucking song.
He doesn't even know.
He's got his interests are.
Yeah.
It's like he can make money off the fucking song, and he can be a bad guy or be a bad guy without the song. Yeah, he's not going to do it. He's like, I can make money off.
He doesn't need to do that. Yeah,
he doesn't. But he did copyright Seltzer Man. So,
I mean, just to go off of your point, like if you keep asking yourself, well, why is it like that? Why is that? I think you guys are absolutely right. I think why it is next is because nobody really looks at the company top down and sees if they can fill a void or build something. They're just like, I am Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy will do Jungle Boy stuff, and so on and so forth, name by name. I can't even think of, since we've been watching, have you seen any characters really change or develop? Chris Jericho, who we just talked about.
Yeah, Danielson moves around. He's whatever they need him in the situation. John Moxley's been the same.
Nobody's really picking something like filling a void in the company. It's just like, well, I think I can get my thing over. Maybe you should pick me, and not here's an idea for how to work a piece of a television show.
Wait a minute. I mean, the Scissor Me guys are fucking pretty awesome, and they got themselves over. We'll give them credit.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's a good
Let's
one.
give them credit.
That's probably the best.
John Moxley is the baby face of the company. Now, he got booed at this show because MJF is outrageously popular with, like Chris said, the cynics, the people that
I'm
don't
not even
wanna
talking
like good
about
guys.
them. Like, if you're the top, like, if you're in that top group of guys, you don't necessarily need to mold yourself as much relative to this. I'm talking about the underbelly.
The guys are trying
That's
to
where
get
people
through,
should be.
break through.
Yeah, that's where you should. That's where you should see way more creativity.
Right. Even when you had like evil factions, they weren't that evil. They were annoying. Tenman is the only heel in the company because nobody likes him. He gets no reaction from anybody.
Yeah.
All right, final thoughts
It's
on this because we
strange.
didn't watch the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we fucking know.
Yeah, sure. We
Chris.
did. No, I was
Yeah,
going to say,
yeah.
like, also though, here's one of the things. It's like you're a professional wrestler. You're working for a company. You do X, Y, and Z very well. People like it when you do it. And you tell the boss, these are the things that I like to do that I can get over. And fans have always reacted to it. And the boss says, okay, fine, do those things. Now, like we said before, you have something for people to get behind. If you're going out there and you do X, Y, and Z, and that's what people love to see about you, like you said with Shinsuke Nakamura, the boss should be saying, yeah, don't do them unless you're a babyface. Do them if you're when you're healed, knock that off.
Right.
That's the problem. Everybody's just like, yeah, I love this guy. I love it. And look, you know me, like I always tell people when we talk, well, like, you know, if I'm in the bar, I'm working and it's slow and we're talking about TV shows, and I'll always talk about how I love this character. I like that character, and they're bad guys. Like, oh, he was such an asshole, right? It always comes up was Richie Aprea, season 2 of The Sopranos.
Fucking jerk.
Jerk. I love him. But I always say to people, the reason why I love him is because I watched pro wrestling for so many years that I can appreciate a really good fucking villain.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And he was.
And he was excellent at being a villain. And there's it's like there's room for that. Allow that to happen. Good guys and bad guys. Because you notice that the one thing that we say all the time when it comes to AEW is, yeah, I don't care.
Right.
Whatever. Why? My response, why?
Yep.
2 jerk-offs are going to beat each other up in the middle of a fucking wrestling ring in an arena. I don't care. Right? Floyd Mayweather would go around acting like an asshole. So all these miserable old white guys that buy pay-per-views be like, oh, I'm paying money just to see that motherfucker finally get shut up.
Never happened.
And it never happened.
Great.
And that's what
It's
they
like,
do. Only as good as the bad guy. People pay money to, like Roddy Piper always said, people did not pay money to see Hulk Hogan. They paid money to see Hulk Hogan beat up Roddy Piper.
Mhm.
That's what they paid for.
Yep. Brandon, go.
It's like when WWE sucked shit, there was at least like a reasonable story that made sense that we could process this to like, yeah, these guys are dickheads. They're just in it for money. Vince McMahon wouldn't, is tearing the script up the day up, blah, blah, blah. There's plenty of, you could wrap your head around why WWE sucked.
Mm-hmm.
It's more painful to watch a group of guys that have all of the freedom in the world just not really be able to come up with anything. It's like watching, if you see somebody bomb like stand-up comedy, it's just like a guy bombing. But if you ever see like an improv troupe where like a whole group of people fail together, it's way more embarrassing because it's like, this is a whole team of guys that all suck. That's kind of what it feels like. Yeah, that's kind of what it feels like watching AEW be bad. It's like you guys have all of the freedom in the world and you're all kind of blowing it.
Right. So I think the lesson here is that we don't necessarily dislike AEW. We don't like the directions it's in. We're not alone in this. And like with what we are maybe alone in among wrestling fans is our ability as adults to consciously give up on something because we don't find it worthwhile. I'm not going to sit here and watch something I don't enjoy just because it's on. There's a million other options, especially on a Wednesday night. I got other shit I can do.
Our specialties.
With
Giving up is one of my specialties.
So the problem is we really want to enjoy AEW, but you got to give me something, man. And I love MJF. MJF has done a great job. I think he's done a great job making himself one of the biggest faces biggest baby faces in the company. I'm excited to see what happens with Jon Moxley after this. What happens with the Brooklyn Combat Club, the B-Boy Combat Club? Because it's not Blackpool anymore. What is it? Because Blackpool left. Like, but we still love you, Regal. We're going to call it Blackpool Combat Club. Come back to us. Are they going to cheer? Now they're going to cheer. They're going to cheer him after he handed brass knuckles to this is the problem I have with this fucking company. Is it the fans? They're just appeasing the fans, I guess. You got to keep that million people happy. Speaking of which, keeping the million people happy, new CM Punk shirts came out on the AEW website.
Really?
Interesting.
Maybe they're trying to work it out.
He's probably still under contract, and they're like,
yeah,
try to figure it out. I want more money.
Let's see how these shirts do before we cut them.
Yeah.
Yep. Hold on though. Like, here's the thing. Who knows what's going on? I'm not even going to pretend like I even have an inkling of what's going on. But if he came back, he would be one of the biggest. See, that's the thing that you don't know. I was going to say he could be one of the biggest heels in wrestling history if he came back.
Oh my God, he would be.
They would fucking hate him.
A real heel.
Yeah.
The next Dynamite's in Chicago.
Yeah, he shows up in you people. You can make it.
Don't you fucking cheer me.
Hudo in my hometown and you booed me.
You boo me. This town be nothing without me.
I could be a heel on that show.
You already are.
Yeah. Be a heel on that show. Like, hey, mother, what are you talking about? Fucking motherfuckers.
All you have to do is say that over and over again. You fucking motherfucker.
You fucking motherfucker.
Mother, who the fuck you think you fucking? When they're like, what do you have to say about the breakup of the Blackpool Combat Club? You fucking motherfucker. Like, you ever walk behind somebody down the street, or like they're doing something, and just like, you fucking motherfuckers, you shit motherfuckers, and you fucking motherfucker, you fucking. One time when I was a kid, I worked at Pizza Hut, and the guy came. I would go in at 8 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays to work the lunch shift and open, and the truck driver was there. Right. And, that's like a corporate place. So it's like you're getting all the stuff you're getting from a distribution company that your business owns. Right. It's not like you're getting it from Cisco. You're getting it from, fucking Pizza Hut distribution. And nobody was there to let him in. And he's unloading the truck and he's just throwing everything. I'm like, I ain't got fucking keys. I can't do shit. And he's like, there's supposed to be bottles. There's spray bottles that they give you, clean. They're supposed to. There's bottles. I don't see any bottles. There's fucking bottles to ride that fucking truck. And he just drove away. And I'm in the parking lot with boxes and boxes of food. You motherfucker. The whole time he was doing it, he's like, fucking, it's just fucking bugucking. You rotten.
What's your license plate? What's my license plate? Your dead fucking mother, you fat whore.
It's fucking supposed to be.
You fat whore.
I don't see any bottles. You fucking bottles. Get out of that truck.
There you go. Excellent. Well done. We could be heels. We did it. Let's talk about good stuff. Stardom's Gold Rush 2022 happened the same day at 1 a.m. I rented it. I stayed up for 4 matches before I woke up in a pool of drool on my floor. We're going to talk about a couple of them. Drool pool. Definitely, we're going to talk about Kairi. We're going to talk about Kairi a lot in this episode. Well, not too much because we're running long. Wonder of Stardom title match. Saya Kamitani defeats... No defeat. Time limit draw against Kairi. Fucking intense fucking match. This match ruled. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, this was intense. 30 minutes, and it felt like they were just getting going at the end. Pretty interesting count out. Feels like just the beginning of a story here, despite it being 30-minute epic. Pretty good.
Limb selling at its finest, brother. Chris, thoughts?
Fucking masterpiece that match was.
Dude.
That's all I got to say. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, like to Brandon's point about how like all of a sudden they started to do the minute left count. And I was like, holy fuck, we already did 29 minutes? Because I had no idea. I thought this is a no time limit match. A lot of their matches don't do 60-minute no time limit. They usually announce it ahead of time. I thought this was going to be no time limit. And then when they started counting down, I was like, oh, fuck, we're getting a draw, aren't we? But then they do what they do. They do it in New Japan too with those. And I was saying about the TV title matches that are the 15-minute time limit. When they get in that last minute, they're rushing to get it done. And they're jumping all over. They're fucking flying all over the place. They're screaming at the crowd. Fucking fantastic. Brandon, good.
They do what they do. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Keep it moving.
Match. World of Stardom title match. You ever hear a fight forever chant? I think it applies to this. Siri defeats Tommy Hayashishita. 28 minutes. I could watch these two fucking wrestle every week and I wouldn't get sick of it. Brandon, thoughts?
I agree. Yeah, a ton of fun. Suri and Utami, fantastic. The only thing with this one, I think I knew who was going to win the whole time, but that's okay.
Right. Of these two matches, this is the one that we talked about last week that was like kind of predetermined. We know that Suri's fighting Julie at the end of the year, so it was like, well, this should be entertaining, but fuck. On Cage Match, this gets 9.37 stars. Chris, someone voted just 0.07 stars. It's unbelievable. Chris.
Yeah, you were saying I thought of that. It's funny you mentioned the fight forever because I thought of that. And I was like, another chant that matches in the US get a lot. This is wrestling. Well, that was wrestling. And none of the matches that you were chanting, this is wrestling during or wrestling. It's fucking phenomenal. It's so good.
You mean the super kick duel off wasn't this is wrestling?
Chester and kick and squat and fall and kick and swall. Meltzer, yay! 4 stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Notre Dame fight song.
Fucking chandeliers exploding. Guys with flags busting down chandeliers. Listen in the archives.
And then finally on the show, an insane fucking ladder match. Moneyball. So earlier in the show, they had 6-man tag matches between the different factions. I didn't have you guys watch them. They were quick and they were over and they got to this one. Moneyball tournament finals, table ladders and chairs match. Hazuki Koguma and Mayu Iwatani, who are stars, defeated Julia Mai Sakurai, who fell on a table and got she rolled off that poor fucking woman. Yo, Mai Sakurai takes a fucking beat in every match she's in, and she looked fucking fantastic at this. And Thekla, they lost. It was only 10 minutes long. They had a thing where you could hit, if you hit the blue button, the money ball from the ceiling came down. If you hit the red button, it raised. So we had at one point where they were climbing up real fast. Thekla was at the top of the ladder. And Mayu looks at her and hits the blue button. The thing goes up and it keeps going up, and she's making this goofy face. So they bring it down really low. It's hanging out. They got this giant ladder. Hazuki's on the top rope. Julia's climbing up. Hazuki kicks the ladder. Julia goes flying. It hits the money ball. The money ball explodes all over the fucking place. This was not supposed to happen during the match. Dude, props to the women involved in this. The looks on their fucking face. Them, everybody at side, they all just looked at each other like, and they just kept going with it. They were like, yeah, whatever. They just pulled all the money and big gold coins and all the shit, and they pulled it outside the ring, and they just kept the match going. Fucking, this was a lot of fun. I fucking love this match. More of this shit, my fucking pro wrestling. Only 10 minutes long. It felt like forever, but it was a good forever where I was like, when it was over, I was like, holy shit, that was so fucking entertaining, but it's over. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, much like the WCW Halloween Havoc electric chair match, when you start having wrestlers operate gadgets away from the ring, funnier shit than you would imagine happens. Like it's fucking Tomb Raider going on here, and they crush the shit out of the money ball. You get some Home Alone palms to the sides of the face. So oh my God, what are we gonna do? And they just kind of keep it moving, and all that in 10 minutes.
And then over the announcement, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna raise what's left of the ball because it's the top half. You have to get that down." So they raised that up. This is fucking good. Chris, thoughts?
This match was a complete clusterfuck, and I laughed so hard the entire time. It was so good. This was so good. They look Monday morning quarterback. I thought it would have been afterwards. I was thinking it would have been hilarious, and Julia did it at the end of the match. But it would have been hilarious if the heels just started taking the money and stuffing it in their clothes. And then throughout the whole match, just every time they got hit, money would go. They'd throw money.
The fake coins.
Like really work with it. But man, this was really
like
good. When that broke, yes. I was Sonic, exactly. When that thing broke, I was like, yo, that was not supposed. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I thought, were they supposed to break the egg? No. and then, but if you at the end of the match, first of all, Julia's, I don't know what was in the paper, in the envelope.
So I talked about this last week. She made a promise at the news conference.
Yes.
She had this piece of paper. It was a contract to create, which was when they won the money, which apparently was $10,000. When they won the money, that they were going to put it, Julia was going to put it towards creating a fund to help retired professional wrestlers move on in life when they have to retire, which is a great fucking idea. The problem is that the other team just wanted the money. Now Mayu is going to go and buy fucking Nikes. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, she was rolling around. Julia was rolling around outside the ring crying when she lost. And then she started grabbing coins and sticking
the plastic coins.
Plastic coins like they were real gold. Can you imagine how heavy that fucking ball would have been if they were real gold coins?
Oh, my God. The balloons?
Oh, my God. Yeah, what do they call them? Krugerrands.
Yeah, I thought it was
excellent.
Krugerrands. I thought it was what Bitcoin was, like actual Bitcoins.
What's the other stuff?
Which is not worth anything. Dogecoin. Brandon, final thoughts on the show because we'll move on.
Yeah, good time. We only watched 3 of them, but it was a good 3. I don't know how the rest of it was.
It was a really good tag match too. That's worth checking out. If you want to check these out, they are available in abbreviated form on their YouTube channel. As I've said before, check out their YouTube channel. They always put fucking clips up if you're interested in this stuff. Doesn't have subtitles, but you can find subtitles somewhere. They'll put it out. All right, here we go. The historic match, New Japan Pro Wrestling X Stardom, historic crossover in the Ariake Arena in Tokyo. 7,000 people. This is a pretty big fucking crowd for post-COVID Japan. We're going to skip ahead because honestly, there were 2 sides to this fucking show. There was the stuff involving Stardom people, and then there was a bunch of stuff involving New Japan people, and I hate to tell you, it wasn't great. Wasn't great at all. But we'll start with the mixed tag match. Queen's Quest. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. How about this one? Team England, Julia and Zack Sabre Jr. defeat Siri and Tom Lawyer, Team UFC. Tom Lawyer with the custom-made God's Eye gear. Brandon, thoughts?
Is he a lawyer, that Tom Lawler?
Tom Lawyer.
Tom Lawler.
Tom Lawyer. Sorry, I moved fast.
Boys, I mean, once again, we've talked about this before. He just looks fantastic for what he's trying to do, for as far as being a filthy guy. And him and ZSJ were pretty good foils for each other with some of the grappling exchanges, and then Tom Lawler would just get a hold of him and just kind of farm boy slam him down into the mat again. And Suri and Julie get into it. I thought this was like a ton of fun for what it was. I could watch this for another 20 minutes and still have enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed the part where Tom Lawler grabs Siri and tries to like pull her away like an angry girlfriend. She's like, fuck you, kicks him right in the ass. Then Julia punches him in the face. That was a going theme throughout this. And
they slowly ease you into the what is it, intergender violence here?
Yes. Ongoing theme throughout it was, especially in the post-match press conferences, they were talking about how it doesn't seem like they should have to because the rule was, it was WWE rules where women had to fight women, men had to fight men. They threw that right out the window right away. Julie and fucking Siri immediately went after Tom Lawler and started beating him up, and it was great. Especially when they were beating each other up outside the ring, when they were rolling around, and Julie was kicking fucking Tom Lawler, and Siri was kicking Zack Sabre Jr. This is good stuff. Chris, thoughts?
Well, first of all, Tom Lawler is like.
Do I keep calling him lawyer?
No,
just the one time.
Just the one time. Tom Lawler, looks wise, could be a top level heel in any company in the fucking world. I mean, he just looks like a monster, and I love him on my television. Like, seriously, nobody looks like that dude. It's so after this run, he's going to, I have a feeling that if this dude sticks with professional wrestling, which I don't see why he wouldn't, he's going to get really fucking big, because he's a tremendous athlete. He's built like a fucking tank. He has legitimate fighting experience, and he looks like a monster. Like, nobody looks like that guy. He has something nobody in professional, even Brock Lesnar doesn't look like that guy, But no, I thought this was fantastic. I think you guys hit the nail on the head. Them, Julia and Sherry getting past their differences just to beat him up for getting involved. Like, what did I do? What did I do? He just get beat up. Really good stuff.
Yeah. Final thoughts on the match, Brad?
Yeah, something to like Susie and the Banshees fan grappling elitist against just like the grimy farm boy that every once in a while will just pick him up by his shorts and crush him into the mat. It's like he's a lot more charming than Matt Riddle, and kind of a similar style. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always a wild thing about Tom Lawler's look is that, okay, so he's got the dirty cut off jean shorts, but he wears these like complicated white boots. Which it's quite the contrast every time you see him. I'm like, look at these fucking wild ass boots. You're expecting him to wear be barefoot or wear cowboy boots with what the getup he has on. It's pretty good.
Immediately when he comes out, one last thing, he's stomping around and stretching his legs out like you're waiting for his balls to pop out of his shorts, like really, really embracing it from the jump.
Another really good one was like Tom Lawler's doing this thing that he does. He does it he does like a stomp in the middle of the ring, and Zack Sabre Jr. and Julia are looking at him, and then they immediately turn around and ignore him.
Turn their backs to him. They don't want to watch it. They weren't going to watch him take his shorts off, is what it was.
Yeah, they didn't want to say it. Do not want to say it. 8-man tag match. Meltier, that's Natsupoi and Tom Nakano, tag with Taichi and Yoshinobu Kanemaru against Black Desire, which is Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid, and the Suzuki-gun team of Doki and El Desperado. Before we dive into it, I was particularly a fan of Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Didn't want anything to do with this entrance. He just walks to the ring. Taichi comes out. He does this whole lip syncing thing. And then Natsupoi and Tom Nakano come out. They're going to sing their song and lip sync. But Black Desire, being the ultimate heels, walk down and they don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear this shit. We don't want to hear you sing, and start going after him right away. This was mixed tag fucking madness. This match was fucking awesome. Only 7.61 on the old cage match. Brandon, thoughts?
I bailed on this one. I was watching this on my phone at Planet Fitness while I was running, and I was like, yo, I don't want to watch fucking Doki right now. It's kind of hitting that wall in the middle of it, and I'm like, give me something I'm more interested in. So I bailed on it. Sounds like it was a good time.
Maybe the only reason it got the score that it got is because Momo is, she gained too much weight. And
that's true. Yeah, I think that's
and she's not. Nobody wants to see her anymore.
Oh, I didn't mention this. Meltzer has a new report out about Joshi that Stardom does not want porn legend professional wrestler Chen Yoda on the shows because she's a porn star, and now she's no longer invited because she was on their New Blood shows, which is basically like young talent. She's not allowed on there. Meanwhile, on their We Are Stardom show that airs on Asahi TV and also on their YouTube channel, she's front and center of it.
So they're putting out sexy bikini books, and then they can't have a goddamn P-star on the show?
I don't buy it. Apparently, they have this. It's a hair product company is the sponsor of the New Blood shows, and apparently that company is upset that they have a porn star involved in it. But there's no evidence of this. And the fact that this was on YouTube and was also on SITV with a porn star front and center flexing doesn't lead any credence to Meltzer's fucking thoughts.
It sounds like some whack as fuck Dave Meltzer shit.
Yeah, he's so full of shit. I'm so sick of him. But Chris, thoughts?
Yeah, Momo got her kicks in on Tai Chi right in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
And during the pull apart, Tai Chi pulled the ref in front of him and acted like the ref was holding him back.
Yes.
This was fabulous. I forgot. I haven't really watched a lot of Tai Chi. You forget what an idiot he is.
Dude.
Oh, so I'll say this now. So I have when I was watching this, I have the perfect analogy for the whole Suzuki-gun crew. Suzuki-gun is essentially Skeletor, and the rest of his crew are his idiot henchmen that can't do shit right.
Right.
I mean, you got
Who's Skeletor? Despy?
No, Skeletor is Suzuki.
He's barely on the show anymore.
Yeah, I know, but
More
still,
like
it is Suzuki Goon.
Yeah.
He's the boss. It is him. I mean, but Minoru Suzuki, and then you have what's the guy's name? Lance Archer.
Yeah.
You know, he would be Triclops because Triclops isn't in every episode, and he kind of does right, but he just gets beat up. But then the rest of them are just like
Beast Man. You got Merman.
Yeah, all the idiots. It's so good. And it really comes out in this one.
Yes.
Like in this match, it comes and it because it was so, I don't want to say tongue in cheek, but it so played into everybody's strengths as far as being ridiculous that it really showed that it's like, oh, that's right. Because, and you know, you got people who used to complain about Marina Shafir and who was the other guy? I can't remember her name. That were with Shayna Baszler. There were two of them. I can't remember. It'll come to me. It's
a tall blonde girl.
Jessica Duke.
Jessica Duke.
Jessamyn
Duke. Jessamyn Duke. Yeah.
They used to people used to complain about them, and I was like, no, that's what those guys do. When you have to have idiots that come out.
You need people to lose.
Right. And that's what it's almost like everybody in, like they all have their little shining moments. Despy had that one awesome what was that Super Juniors that year when he made it to the finals a couple years ago. That was awesome. They all have their shining moments, but on a whole, they're kind of boobs, and it really works, and it really played into those strengths during this match. I really enjoyed this.
One of the interesting things about it is that there's been, you know, I pay attention to New Japan. A lot of people don't anymore, but there's been these like little things that have been going on, like Tai Chi being a sumo guy, big sumo wrestler. When they were doing Ryogoku Gokogikan, they were Tai Chi was all about like, we're gonna have a sumo match, him and Shingo, I think it was, but he didn't want to disrespect sumo in the Ryogoku, so he's like, we're gonna have a legit sumo. We're gonna have a sumo match. So now he's always doing sumo shit. He's grabbing people by their trunks. He was doing El Desperado. And the English commentary team did a fucking great job with this.
Yep.
They were fantastic. And they were like, look, Desperado's going to take him down. Oh, and then Chris Charlton calls. Tai Chi throws El Desperado. Chris Charlton calls it by the throw you would call it in sumo.
Yeah.
Kanemaru and El Desperado have had this ongoing thing where it goes back to the best of the Super Juniors, the Super Junior Cup or whatever, where who can do the best headlock. So when they have a sequence between the two of them, they're throwing each other in the ring, and usually juniors would be jumping all over the place. They're throwing each other in headlocks. They just like lay on top of each other. This is fucking great, man. This is long-term storytelling in a goofy way, where they've been doing this stupid shit for now months. Let's play it all together. Let's cater to both of our audiences. The whole thing where Kanemaru gets thrown outside, and all of Odayo Tide start beating the living shit out of him. It's great. I found this fucking show so fucking fun. Final thoughts.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, you didn't watch it, Chris? Final thoughts.
No, I think you nailed it. I think we might actually you see these little competitions going on between the Suzuki-gun guys. I mean, maybe this is the beginning of the end, considering he's not going to be around anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't he kind of retiring? What's that?
Gun. Let's make it Tai Chi Gun.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe some guys will split off and do something else. I'm not like they're you understand what I'm saying. It's like the advancement of Suzuki-gun because he's not going to be wrestling anymore.
Right. At least not with New Japan. It's going
Or
to take
maybe he'll just wrestle till his legs don't work anymore and go on a farewell fucking tour.
There you go. We're going to get to that. We won't really talk about it, but we can. Next match, Hiroshi Tanahashi tags up with Utami Hayashishita, and I believe they called themselves Team Handsome versus Team Samurai, Hiroki Goto and Micah. Now this is the one where you heard the oohs and ahs from the crowd when man on woman, woman on man violence happened. First thing happens, Utami comes in the ring with Micah. They face off. They immediately turn around and crack the opposing partners in the face, which was like, all right, let's set this off because these two are not, they're booked as powerhouses, Tommy and Micah, and they're like, I'm not taking any of this shit. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, Tanahashi really sets the tone on just making sure everyone knows it's okay to slap a lady here tonight. That's what we're doing, boys. He slaps the lady, and then he pretty quickly gets tossed. They kind of made a thing of it.
Okay, Brent.
No, I'm good. The other thing I was gonna say, we could get a double air guitar solo.
Yes, we do. That was fantastic.
All the charm in the world from that one. Go Ace. 1/100 a year. I see you got the towel on, sweat towel.
That's right. Ashtema, love and energy.
I'm sweating my fucking sweater on.
Yeah. I always say this about Tana. Tana's great. When Tana has to be a dickhead, Tana's a dickhead. And he's the ultimate babyface. But man, when you piss him off, he don't fuck around.
Oh, he'll cheat.
I mean, he was stomping a woman. He's stomping her. And at one point he actually did I guess it was during a lot. I forget how the sequence went down, but he kind of locked up and then turned around and did the to her outside and then turned around. I mean, it was great. I will say this. It's interesting to watch Tanahashi, the way he moves his body to compensate for the way that he can't move his body. Because that hip area, this is a guy who's I think this guy is working in a ton of pain.
Yeah.
And the way he does, he's going to be getting 2 replaced hips at some point. But just to watch him, how he moves his body to compensate for the fact, because he's in such good shape, to compensate for the fact that his hips aren't working, I find that amazing.
Yeah, these matches were a lot of fun. If you get a chance to check out all the mixed tag matches, I definitely say check them out. Keep an open mind. Like I said, Tanahashi open hand slaps Mike in the face, but don't feel too bad because Micah picks his ass up and fucking gives him a side suplex right on his head and he goes rolling outside the ring. So they're portrayed as being equals.
Yeah, it's there's always this thing in the back of my head where it's like, but they are portrayed as being equals.
They're equals.
You have to look at it like you would look at Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody complained about Ryu punching Chun-Li.
No, right.
It made sense because it's a video game. Well, these
are superheroes. That's who they are. These people are superheroes in the ring.
Yeah. Or Brianna Tarth and the Mountain going at it. It's
right.
That's what it is. It's just, entertainment value. This person can handle themselves. They're not weaker,
right?
Because they're a woman. They're just as strong and just as capable. So yes. I dig it.
Yeah, it's not domestic abuse here. Field. It's not domestic abuse here.
No.
It's not gender abuse here.
Hiroshi Bunker.
Yeah. All right, I'm not going to talk about the 10-man tag match. That fucking sucked. Dude, Gideon Gray. Did you guys watch any of these other matches?
I didn't.
Yeah.
When I was watching this, I could see when the next match was coming up, I was like, we ain't talking about this. Skip it.
So they got this character in New Japan. He's part of United Empire. He's like their mouthpiece. His name's Gideon Gray. All right, I get it. He's funny. He's like ugly British guy. He kind of looks like a fucking penis. But he's in the middle of this entire, I watched this match. He's like part of the entire story of the match. And he's just getting the shit kicked out of him. It's just, it's not good, man. Oh, God. Anyway, did you watch the Muda match? No, right?
Wow, he is fucking ugly, this guy.
Gideon Gray? Fucking hideous. I mean, that's part of his thing. He's supposed to be like Money Mark, man. He paid to get the United Empire together. But he gets in the ring. And he's got an ongoing story with Naito breaking his cane and taking his coat. And it's like, what? What are we doing? Now, this this terrible match somehow got more match guy ratings than Jade Cargill walking in the ring. Did you watch the Great Muta match? Anyway.
I saw clips.
All right, wasn't good.
And I couldn't bring myself to watch it. It looked bad.
It was
A little bit of it, yeah.
Yeah,
so bad.
it just looked sad.
Yeah, it was a match to get him in the ring and spray mist, and he did that. There you go. All right, IWGP United States Heavyweight Title match. Will Ospreay defeats Shota Umino. Pretty damn good match. 23 minutes. I'll let you guys talk. I go to the bathroom. Brandon, go ahead.
Chris, you have something to say here? If you want to lead
No,
off.
I mean, this was a good match. I can't get granular with it. I'm digging Shota Umino. Gives us a new character. We talked about this last week. They were digging into the fact that people were considering him privileged because of who his dad is. And but he wouldn't take it. He took the hard road like everybody else. I dug Ospreay coming out in Hayabusa gear. I mean, it was good. I'm not quite bought into Shota Umino to the point where, because it's, my recollection or my bank of Shota Umino stories, I think, are an AEW match against Mox. I think he was in, right?
Yep.
Didn't he wrestle Mox? It's just, I'm into it. I dig it. I like him, but I need a little bit more. There's not a lot of meat on that bone for me to chew on at this point. But like I said, Ospreay's starting to grow on me a lot more. So that was good. I mean, all in all, like Jim said, it was a good match. It was definitely entertaining. If we're going somewhere with this, let's go there with it. But it's a good way to, it was fun to watch, and I kind of like that we have a kind of a new character that they're getting behind with Shota Umino. We'll see a little bit more from him.
Yeah, I think another one to add to the list, as far as we're talking about having some new blood in there that could compete. He looked absolutely like he deserved to be in the ring there. When it comes to Will Ospreay, I don't even want to complain about it, but I'm still just in a spot where it's just not connecting with me. It's not that it's bad. It's just like reminds me of like like Inception or something, like one of these movies that people told me is a 9 out of 10 on IMDb, and I just don't care that it is. And there's anything wrong with it. It's just that's where I'm at. So
that's where you're at.
Try to get over it. Yeah,
fucking nothing wrong with that.
More importantly, after the match ends, he's going to defeat Will Ospreay. Lights go out. It's Kenny Omega. He does a promo in Japanese. He says Will Ospreay is just his cheap replacement. He hasn't been able to sell anything out since he left. He's the reason why New Japan got to the heights that it did. And we're getting Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, the Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom 17. I believe we're at Wrestle Kingdom 17. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, I think the best way I could put how I feel about Will Ospreay is like he actually made Kenny Omega look charming to me here. I thought that was kind of funny to do his Google Translate boys and just trash the fact that he's a cheap knockoff of who he is. So for two people that I don't care about, I'm actually more interested than I thought I would be.
Christopher?
I mean, they're going to give you a performance. My only hope is that we don't get the whole crew in tow.
Right.
I
don't think we will.
I would really be very upset if we end up having like a, we're going to get a decent match. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be definitely like, it's not a match on the card that I'm like excited for, but it's also not one that's going to make me go, nah, I'll go to the bathroom now because this is going to suck.
No, we'll have the never open weight 6-man Rambo.
Right.
To go to the
Rambo.
bathroom.
We'll do that. But I mean, look, it'll be fun. They're two great, they're good wrestlers. I like how Kenny Omega alludes to the fact that the place hasn't been the same since he's been gone. Has nothing to do with the fact the whole world locked down.
Pandemic.
That's great.
He did good heel work here. And definitely the crowd was going nuts for this. Like they bought into it. He's a huge star over there as he is over here. So there's no exaggeration there. I did like Will Ospreay saying that, like, you know, you left and I stayed. And he did a promo backstage afterwards, which basically, and he did a really good promo where he's basically like, I could have left, I could have chased the money. I stayed in New Japan. I had to work. I did what I was supposed to do. And now I'm the best wrestler in the world. He goes through that whole spiel. They've been building up for this for, I don't know, 12 months.
Yeah.
It was kind of a foregone conclusion, I think. So it's good stuff. Any final thoughts on that, Brandon?
It is good stuff. I think that's all I could say. If for two people I don't give a fuck about, this is quality content. Stories told over time, drama building via space in action.
Right. Yeah. Also, this will bring a lot of buys to New Japan for Wrestle Kingdom, which it should. I think Wrestle Kingdom, in its name, should get a lot of buys, especially one night. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth paying the $10 to get New Japan World to watch it. It's not going to be a pay-per-view.
Is that what it is? It's on there for free?
Yeah. Well, you got to pay for it. You got to pay the $10. It streams on all their big shows. Stream on
Premium
for the $10 on New Japan World, except for the specific special ones. This one in particular, Stardom crossover. There was another one for the Taka Taichi Despy Mania, which I still haven't seen. That was also a pay-per-view. But these shows are all streaming. That's pretty good. But before we're done with that, the inaugural IWGP Women's Title Tournament Final Match. Kairi defeats Mayu Iwatani in 25 minutes and 28 seconds in a fucking intense, awesome match. Brandon, thoughts?
Yeah, holy shit, man. 2 nights, was this back-to-back nights that she does these performances, which is pretty impressive. You know, you can kind of see her. It's a bit of a hangover, trying to knock the stiffness off of her from the night before as we get into this. Both of them very emotional, but I felt like there was a point in the middle of this where Kairi was a little bit more stone-faced and professional and was kind of trying to convey this thing where she had been, like, they keep referencing, at least the English commentary, that she's sailed around the world and she's learned all this stuff. She's sharpened her jiu-jitsu, and she's kind of trying to show that to her opponent, and then they kick out of enough shit where she's just like, okay, and then they both kind of start to break down, and she, you know, when she folds, she really folds, and you know, is almost getting finished time and time again. Pretty chaotic, good stuff. Yeah.
Chris, thoughts?
I'm watching this match and I'm thinking to myself, wow, Mayu's tall. I mean, really, like, because she's thin, you know, she's like 5'4". No, I mean, look, I didn't realize how much I loved Kairi until Kairi wasn't around anymore.
Right.
Then I realized just how fucking good she was.
You remember, I don't know, what, 4 years ago where she was jobbing the Nia Jax? Good times.
Yeah. This match was fucking fantastic. I was glued to my TV with this one. The selling of the arm the entire time. The still doing the, what did she call it?
From the night before.
From the night before. Still doing the cutlass over and over and over again. And every time she does that, man.
Spinning back fist. That's the cutlass.
Spinning back fist, yeah. I mean, this was just a fantastic match. She got a giant hand sanitizer coupon at the end of it, which was fantastic. She won a championship and a lifetime supply of hand sanitizer. It's like fucking Kramer with the coffee.
Gonna want to hold on to that one.
And the funny thing is now what I do is I take Google Translate, I put the camera up to my screen, and I can read what everything says. Dude, that's like the greatest invention of all time. That thing.
Do not rely too heavily on Google Translate. It's all over the place.
No, but you know, the just the hand sanitizer. I mean, that's what that stuff is, that little face on it. But yeah, this was
that tag team three-way number 9. What was that porno that we were talking
about? Three-way fuck fest.
Yeah, three-way fuck fest.
That is a 100% true story. Yeah. Sorry, I mean, and look, you know, you have a title that's not going to be defended all the time.
Nope.
being held by a woman who doesn't wrestle all the time. So it makes it very special.
You know, I was really up in the air on who was going to win this match because you think about it. Okay, who represents Stardom? Although she doesn't have all the titles, who represents Stardom more than Mayu Iwatani? No one. She stuck around when everybody left. When Io left, when Kairi left, she stuck around. When Toni Storm left, when fucking Jamie Hayter left, when Bea Priestley left, she was still there. People were tired. People got injured. Still there. 10 fucking years she was there. So it kind of made sense. Like, who else deserves, quote unquote, deserves? Who is the face of the company, no matter who the champ is? It's Mayu Iwatani. But no one makes more sense than a woman who owns a gym, who doesn't really have to do this, that does it because she loves it. She only has to work once in a while. It's Kairi. She can travel. She's going to travel the United States. She's going to work on Strong. She's going to do the New Japan shows. Her first defense, it's been announced, Tom Nakano. And it makes sense. So we've got some people to challenge her already. We got Tom Nakano, Starlight Kid. She's got action with Starlight Kid. She can fight Starlight Kid. She can fight Saya again. Saya Kamitani, she can fight again. You got four people already lined up for her to defend against before she eventually drops it. I mean, she will drop it eventually. And also they kept talking about how she represents the International Wrestling Grand Prix. She's been around the world. She's held every single title you possibly could in Stardom, including almost every single title in the WWE when she was there, including NXT. She represents
NXT champ, right?
She was NXT champ. She was the tag champ. She was never women's champ in WWE. So she had all the titles in WWE except for one. So she represents International International World Grand Prix or whatever the fuck it stands for. And it makes sense. And yeah, this is a fucking great match. This is definitely like near the top of the list for match of the year for me. I definitely, if you get a chance to go out of your way and check this out, if you want to see the reason why I love women's wrestling so much, this is a perfect example of it. These fucking women beat the shit out of each other, leave it all out there. 25 minutes, it goes by like you wouldn't even fucking notice. At no point does this match drag. You do wonder if they're going to try to kill each other in the ring at one point, especially when Kairi keeps spinning that cutlass back and forth. But yeah, this is good stuff. And then we get a backstage promo. Kairi's back there. She's congratulating herself. She's talking about how hard and giving Mayu props and all this stuff. And Utami comes back and she's like, I'm not going to challenge for the title because I lost. I lost in the tournament. I haven't earned a right to the title. But how about the year-end show? Want to wrestle me for the year-end show? And she's like, yep, we can wrestle for the year-end show. It's not going to be a title match, but we're going to get a special singles match between Utami Hayashishita and Kairi. And not only that, she cheers Kairi and says, hey, you want a beer? And Kairi goes, I don't really drink. And then Utami chugs a beer and says, see you later. She's Stone Cold Steve Austin's her ass and walks away. Fucking
let's go.
I just have one question for you.
Go ahead.
How can you say that that's match of the year?
Rick's longtime partner.
When that happened at some point during
one of. I said one of.
Okay. All right.
One of.
All right,
one of the many.
Far down that list to every other. It's on the list, but it's below every match on the card on that Ric Flair's last match card is above this match.
Especially the one where the girl got her ankle broken.
Oh God, Tessa Blanchard broke her ankle and then they made her finish.
No, it wasn't Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard's blackballed. She's only on WoW.
No, it's Rachel Ellering. I knew somebody's daughter it was. Yeah. Oh no. Tessa Blanchard wrestles on the KKK circuit. We're gonna have a cross burning down here. We're gonna burn ourselves crosses, have some wrestling matches. Tessa Blanchard versus Tessa Blanchard versus Dick Murdoch's son.
Yep.
Dick Murdoch's ghost, not a son. We don't know
thoughts,
the sons are raised.
Thoughts on the Kairi and going forward.
Chris just stole the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was gonna do.
That's fucking
Tessa Blanchard versus Tessa Blanchard impression. Yeah, this is good stuff. I'll start thinking about the superlatives for the year. I always forget when I watch these. I'm like, that was great, and then I just forget delete.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotta move on to something that's completely useless. I need something else to fill that void.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's me sitting in here. Oh man, that match was great. I should put on. There's a cat out back.
Yeah.
Huh? That's it. I'm like,
what's that on my car?
Was that a rabbit or was that a leaf? I gotta go look.
So let's go through the real quick. Any final thoughts on the show, Brandon?
No, I'm good.
Chris?
Tons of fun. I fucking love that show.
Yeah, they hinted that they're going to do more of these. Every promo was like, we got to do this more. This was great. Let's do it more. Let's do it more. Yeah, we should do it more. Let's do it some more. Let's do it some more. I can think of some other people I can tag with. Azumi's already hinted that she wants to tag with somebody. She did a 6-person match, and she's like, there's one person that was on this card that I didn't get to tag with. It's Will Ospreay. Azumi and Will Ospreay in a tag match? Come on. You're selling tickets there, brother. You're fucking giving them away. Look, come on, let's go.
Printing money. Ding, ding, ding,
Printing
ding,
money's
ding,
just
ding,
like
ding,
just
ding,
flying
ding,
out there. It's flying out there.
Throw it out there like FTX. We'll trade all that money on FTX.
On FTX. trading the trade of the trade. Yeah, with FTX. Brandon, how's your FTX doing? You all right?
I wouldn't touch that crap.
Yeah,
Crypto,
all right.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 17. Here's your card, real fast. Real fast. I swear to God. New Japan.
The micro machine guys.
Read the fine print. NJPW World Television Title Tournament Final Match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Ren Narita. The IWGP Junior Heavyweight Title 4-way match. Taiji Ishimori, who was the champ, versus El Desperado versus Hiromu Takahashi versus Master Watts. The IWGP United States Heavyweight Title match. It's now official. It's for the U.S. title. Will Ospreay, the champ, defeats Kenny Omega. The IWGP Women's Title match. Kairi, the champ, versus Tom Nakano. And the main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Title match. Jay White, the champ, versus Kazuchika Okada. The only thing that's making me excited about that match, because they really aren't building to it, is that it's got Okada in it. Brandon, thoughts about this card?
We doing meatballs in a crock pot, getting together?
I think so, man. I got a new meatball recipe. I just made them this weekend.
Would probably
30
be...
balls. Fuck, they were fucking delicious.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
That would get me excited for it. The card, it is what it is. We can have a good time with this, or we could not.
No, we'll definitely have a good time. We always have a good time. We may not be looking at the TV. It's always the same day. Itaeon. It's January 1st.
January 1st.
4th.
Itaeon. Right. So it will be January 3rd.
Yes.
Here into the 4th.
No.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm coming right.
It'll be the 4th, but it'll be 3 a.m.
Yeah, I'm going to probably have to come right after work.
Is that a weekday this time?
It's a Wednesday.
Right? Okay. Well, we'll see. If I have a job, then I can't. But
that's all right. I'll make meatballs for myself, and I'll just drown in them. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. Pour them down your pants.
Meatballs in my pants. Yep. Wednesday at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. Whenever the hell it starts.
I mean, who isn't available then?
The worst thing about these shows is that I get so excited because it's fucking Wrestle Kingdom. I'm so pumped. Oh my God, I'm so fucking pumped. Oh, it's the New Japan Rambo. I'm so fucking excited. Ooh, it's going to be something else. Oh, I'm so fired up. 30-minute break.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
yeah, 4 in the morning. It's 4 in the morning. Yeah, I think I might be watching it Thursday morning. Afternoon.
I'll watch it by myself. I don't give a shit about y'all. I watch it by myself every single fucking year. One year,
it's a strange feeling to like. I remember when we watched at the bar. It's like it was snowing out.
Oh, the snowstorm one.
Yeah, it was snowing out, and it's like 7 a.m. People are going to work, and it's the only times in my life where that's happening. It's been a different kind of night, but you're like, I just watch wrestling. You still kind of feel like a bad boy.
I remember that year was the one where like Willow showed up, and then Willow had to leave, and had all these Red Bulls, and they had to go to work in a snowstorm. I'm like, what are you fucking crazy? Going to work? Like, you ain't going to work. It was like fucking 6 inches of snow. I went outside. I had to drive through all the snow to get home in my fucking Subaru. Back then, I had a Subaru. Now I got a fucking Kia. I ain't going nowhere. That's parked.
Yeah, like the bar, and the bar was like 5 degrees.
Yeah, I kept trying to heat it up. It wasn't getting no warmer.
That was brutal.
Yeah, we did. You came with the box of Joe, though. That was a fucking lifesaver.
I didn't have the box of Joe.
Maybe I did.
You did.
I brought everything.
Fuck them.
I brought everything and the smiles.
Sitting there like,
well, It was a good time.
I think we had just moved into the condo at that point.
Right.
And
You're talking about the snow year, right?
Yeah, and I had and
Wait, that was your Tanahashi beat Omega.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I openly cried in front of people.
And then I had my father-in-law was not doing well. He was, dude, I went home. That was the night I should have stayed. One of those nights I should have stayed home.
You were like, I wish I was at the Tokyo Dome live.
I wish
I could be. I wish
I was a good husband.
That's me every morning.
Oh.
I don't know.
I wish I offered anything to this relationship.
Gabriel.
Fucking asshole.
That's all right. Sydney's grandfather died like 2 hours before that House of Hardcore show, and I still just went to it.
I already got these tickets.
It's like I just bought them. I'll be home, man. It's just like I had a couple beers. I got to see Tommy Dreamer and the Great Muda. The guy's dead. What do you want from me?
He's back on TV, by the way.
Who's that?
Tommy Dreamer.
Where?
Impact.
I don't watch. Who else does?
I have it on.
He might be on TV. Ain't nobody watching, I don't think.
No, nobody's watching.
Is it on AXS still?
Yeah. And my reminder from when we used to watch it for the show is still on my TV. I never take it off. It's like,
does Impact New Japan still have a show on there?
No, I think they do now.
It used to be after TNT or TNA.
I don't know. I'm
like 2 weeks behind.
I don't know what day of the week it comes on. I think it's Wednesday or Thursday.
You know, WWE is in syndication in Japan, and it's like 3 weeks behind still to this day.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah. Like Raw. It's not Raw. I think it's like a recap show, whatever their recap show is.
Why don't they they should have one of those here.
Yeah, I would watch it.
I would watch that. Remember
I'd watch an hour of all of it.
Yeah.
Now you
have a syndicated recap show.
You gotta watch. Apparently it's real good right now. It's just great.
Apparently.
Now everybody's convinced that Triple H isn't in charge and Vince is still in charge, and it's all a lie. Yeah, no shit. You guys are just figuring this out.
Yeah, but I don't know. Did they I don't know that that's possible.
Hey Vince, what should I do this week?
Well, I mean
Listen, pal,
that maybe they're referring, but there's no way that he's like in the buildings.
Mm-mm.
You know,
No
that's
way.
what I'm saying. Like he's not hiding in the fucking closet.
They probably still have a script last minute. He's in the closet, like Dean Ambrose hiding in the trunk.
They're trying to deep fry a turkey on Thursday. Vince is in his ear. He's screaming about what needs to happen on SmackDown.
They're deep frying a turkey.
Make sure you got enough space outside. Don't overfill the oil.
They're deep frying the turkey, and Vince comes outside, and Stephanie's like, "Go back inside, Dad." And then Triple H is like, "Go back inside. Go back inside right now."
I love that video.
It's fucking so good. I was gonna send that to you, and then you posted it.
Go
back inside right now.
That and Thanksgiving by Eli Roth. My favorite things on Thanksgiving. It's the only reason I like Thanksgiving is those two things.
You don't like
what
the?
That is Thanksgiving
you don't like?
by Eli Roth.
Oh, I'll send you the video. Oh, boy. Did you ever see Grindcore or what's it called?
Grindhouse.
No.
The double feature.
Yeah. I think you only saw that if you saw it double feature like we did in the movie theater.
Yeah, if you saw the double feature of Grindhouse, which was Robert Rodriguez's Planet Terror, and Tarantino's Death Proof. It was presented. What was it? 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
This massive fucking thing, and it had fake trailers in between, fake commercials, shit like that.
So good.
Don't look it up on YouTube. Do not look it up on YouTube.
Oh, I'm already a minute into it.
All right, well, cut it. Don't, because you're going to miss the big joke of it is not available on YouTube. It's edited out. I'm going to send it to you. I got you. I'll put it in the for posterity's sake, I'll stick it in the podcast thread.
There we go.
On Daily Motion, you should watch it.
Yeah, so funny. I never laughed so goddamn hard in my life.
Light meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
Eli Roth.
Great
fucking. But that was a great. That whole thing was awesome. The whole Grindhouse.
Or Grind. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about Death Proof.
I love. let me pose a theory that I have about that, because I wasn't either. If you take Death Proof, so you had Planet Terror was the first movie.
Right.
So you had trailers. You had Planet Terror, you had trailers, then you had Death Proof, and Death Proof starts with about 45 minutes to an hour of dialogue.
Yeah.
So you take those. Planet Terror, on the other hand, was
should have flipped
all action. They should have been flipped.
Yes.
Right?
Tarantino was the bigger name, and he probably wanted to go on as quote unquote the headliner.
Yeah,
it's like
they should have been flipped, and that movie should have been first.
Yeah.
This way you had that. You weren't like, I was exhausted. I was like, come on, just shut the fuck up. Can we get to fucking Kurt Russell?
Right.
Because I have one of them. I have a Tarantino. I have a Death Proof shirt from Rucking Fountain coming, the Japanese ones.
Yeah.
I have one of those coming because I'll watch anything with Kurt Russell.
Yeah,
anything with Kurt Russell's and it's fucking awesome. But
light meat, dark meat, all will be carved. Thanks, good.
So good.
I said it to my one buddy because he looks like the guy putting the turkey head on in the parade. Looks just like him. I said it to him every year. Looks like bald.
It's you.
Bald. The one putting the turkey head on. I'm like, it's like you going bald. There he is. So good. All right. So there you go. So next week we got nothing. We got AEW.
Oh no.
I'm sure I could find something to talk about.
I'll walk you guys through Elden Ring.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start from the beginning. How many hours
play
will it take?
Oh, this was funny. I was going to tell you this at the beginning, but I forgot. There's one boss in Elden Ring is like the hardest boss in any of these like Dark Souls games. It's
Is
just
it the
like
lady with the blood?
Yeah, pretty much
What's her
like
name?
that. Melania.
Yeah.
Like Melania Trump, but I finally get to her like 2 nights ago, and I'm like, I've been watching YouTube videos. As Chris just looks at anything to keep himself entertained besides the story I'm about to tell.
I'm looking at the dust on my shelves. I'm thinking about whether I should start cleaning it right now.
Yeah, anything besides
like tonight, or should I do it tomorrow? Go ahead, I'm listening to you though.
That was, and my girlfriend comes down and she's like watching. I'm like, this is the big thing. I've been watching fucking videos how to do this. I got this. Got all this whole strategy. Cut. Like 5th try, real quick. Get the health bar down to 0. I start putting music on, and I'm like, this cutscene happens. I'm like walking around the kitchen flexing. I'm like, I fucking did it. You think I'm not good at Elden Ring? Way too hype for a goofy ass video game. And then it just like this thing rises from the ashes. It's like, now you will see the true horse. And there's like a whole total.
You didn't know that was coming? I knew. I don't even play.
Explodes in my face. No, I thought I did it, and I was totally fake flexing. My girlfriend was jumping up and down on the couch, just trying to get into it.
Yeah, she turns into like some kind of blood monster afterwards. Yeah.
Immediately get dusted. Don't even get one hit, and I'm just like, we're just looking at each other like that was pretty fun when we thought that we did that. Yeah. So embarrassing. Unemployed. Just think I flex in a video game, overreact way too much, and just get nothing.
Get paid. I gotta get pleasure any way I can. Oh
no!
No!
No! No!
Picking up the controller and starting to vibrate. You're like,
exactly. Yeah.
I've been
all right.
All right. AEW next week. Good stuff.
Good night, Chris.
Thanks for joining us this week. Chris is going to go dust his shells off instead of listening to us talking about. We can talk about Elden Ring. You can tell me about Elden Ring all you want. I'll listen.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for joining us this week and join us here every week at Wrestling is Hard. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter at hard4wrestling. Subscribe and follow. Tell your friends. And for Brandon and Chris, I'm Jim, and we'll be back here next week.